Update. Am I the asshole for accusing my brother of being gay instead of studying all day? Hey, so, I want to thank everyone who commented on my original post. I'll be honest that I was angry at first when all of the judgments were negative, but I thought about it and realized that I really was a selfish prick who never thought from my brother's perspective. Thank you for making me aware of that. I apologized to my brother today, and we had a long conversation. He didn't hold it against me, and said that he's glad I'm learning to take responsibility for my actions. He said that he knew what I was going through, and sometimes he gets sad too knowing that we're both growing up and things are changing. I cried when he said that. Our family had problems with money when I was in primary school, so my parents used to work long hours and my brother practically brought me up. He said that if I am willing to try improving my grades, I could spend some time each day studying in his room while he worked on his degree, which sounds like a good idea. And apparently he's been planning to take me to Italy sometime next year, so that we can spend some time together when he has less things going on. He remembered that I always wanted to go there after seeing some movie when I was younger lol. And he forgave me for nearly outing him. Luckily, my mum thought it was just an insult and didn't think much about it. I go to a traditional school which doesn't educate us on LGBT issues, so I read up on that online and realized how dangerous what I did was, and how great my brother is for still talking to me and being so loving. I also want to apologize to people on Reddit who were offended by my attitude towards being gay in my original post. So anyway, thank you. I'll try to be more mature from now on. Edit. Thanks so much for the support everyone. It encourages me that other people with an older brother manage to still be close after both growing up less than 3.
AAAW. Nice to see someone going from asshole to wholesome.
Thank you for being open to listening, learning, and apologizing. That is very mature, especially for your age. I'm glad you were able to work things out with your brother.
Good job, Op. You can be forgiven for being mature and owning up to your mistakes, and especially for considering your brother's safety. He is right, families grow and change, you can't help that. But as long as you put in the work it will be okay. Black Heart.
Op. Thank you for updating. And yes, it's still danger ahead in some part of the world to be gay, lesbian, trans, bi, or queer. No joke at all. Some parts of the US still have gay bashing as a hobby. In some parts of Europe, we still have blatant hate crimes. Please, for the love of all kittens and doggos, be careful. Don't speak about it unless he's out. Don't talk about it with anyone. Love him and respect him all the same. But, keep your mouth shut.
Good for you. It takes a lot to apologize, and I wish you both an amazing travel in Italy. It really is an amazing country.
Good to see that the declared assholes on the sub can change. Love a story like this.
Glad you apologized and your brother wasn't outed. Glad you guys can still be close.
Good for you for learning and being so mature about it. I'm glad we got an update, and a positive one at that. It can be hard to admit when you're wrong, but I'm glad you did after reading the replies from the last post, and it's very mature to take the steps to learn and make sure things are smoother over with your brother. ETA. As a person in the LGBT community, I'm glad to hear you've learned more about the dangers of being outed. It's scary, and it's not something a lot of people think about, and I'm glad you educated yourself on the topic. I wish more people were like that.
Hugs. It's really hard to see another's perspective when you're hurting. What is so awesome is that you did a bad thing, you owned it and you went forward. You and your brother have a special bond because of this, and your relationship will be stronger going forward. That's not to say you won't have an argument now and then, but to say you have learned to communicate with him and not weaponize your words or actions. It says a lot about your and your brother moral code. And let's add in that you came on here to do the update. That takes guts, and you didn't have to do that. I for one am very proud of you, and I am also going to give your brother a shout out for being a great big brother to you.
We are all proud of you, and you make me want to call my little brother. Wow. You are an impressive young person. Good on you for learning, educating yourself, and rebuilding trust with your brother. Wholesome and heartwarming. I understand how you feel. Growing up sucks. Oh well, when you become adult, you will understand why people say they wish they were a kid. Lol.
Way to go, Op. Self-reflection is really hard, and it's very easy to write off a bunch of strangers as being wrong and holding on to that anger. Your maturity in learning, in humbling yourself enough to apologize, and going to the extra effort to educate yourself goes to show that you are a good person too. I'm so glad your brother was big enough of a person to forgive you. Enjoy Italy.
Damn dude. You matured more in 4 days than most people do in their entire lifetime. You seem like a good kid. Don't let your small bubble in the world be all you know. Get out there and experience life from multiple points of view. You'll be much better for it in the long run.
You seem like a genuinely good kid. Everyone makes mistakes, especially teenagers. Evidence, I'm 17 lol, and you're willing to learn and grow as a human. That's something that even lots of adults have trouble with. Nobody likes being wrong or realizing they acted like a shithead.
Proud of you, kiddo. What a great big brother you have. After seeing so many posts about siblings who hate each other, this is wonderful to read.
This was such a sweet update, it got me crying. I'm so glad you and your brother are gonna be all good. Yes, what you did wasn't correct, but you're very mature to recognize your mistake. I wouldn't go so far as to call you an aw. You mention you don't have a lot of exposure to these issues, you're learning. Good for you, you and your brother are fortunate to have one another.
OMG, our little asshole is all grown up. Love you, little dude, keep growing and shining.
I am so glad that it all worked out, and I'm especially touched and thrilled to read this. I read up on that online and realized how dangerous what I did was. This internet stranger is so proud of you for taking this chance to grow and learn to be better than you were a few days ago. Keep learning and educating yourself. I imagine you will be a wonderful ally your brother will be glad to have. I'm so grateful that no harm was done, and that you two have reconciled. May the bond between you two stay strong, and may you grow wiser and more compassionate with each day. Good luck.
Your brother sounds amazing, and it's clear that you were only jealous cause he wasn't spending time with you. You don't see sibling relationships was wholesome as the one you two seem to have. This is a wonderful update, Op. You did good. You sound smart and self-aware and like you have a good heart. Don't let that go, it's the best part of you. I love that you are willing to learn and think about things from someone else's perspective. It sounds like you and your brother have a really lovely relationship, and I'm glad you guys were able to talk and work things out.
Op, I want to comment as someone with a similar age gap between them and their older brother. My brother and I are also very close and have 7 years between us. No one in between. When I was your age, I felt similar about missing him when he was away at school and him not having enough time when he was home. I felt like we were growing apart in an irreparable way, which hurt because he was and is someone I admire a lot. You must remember that you and your brother are at very different places in life, and that sucks. You have different interests, values, priorities and needs. As you both become adults, it will become easier and easier to spend quality time together and bond over shared interests and experiences, even if it isn't as much as you'd like right now.
Love this update so much.
Doesn't seem like a 14-year-old, at least not how I was. The kids are gonna be alright, y'all. You at first acted like a child, but now you sound like a man.
Good job, kiddo.
I kinda understand your outburst, as my sister, who is older by 9 years, went to college and it just felt like such a huge loss. She was like my favorite person and then she was gone. I of course don't hold it against her, and we did spend time together when she was home, but a sibling who is a good bit older means so much to the younger one that it just sucks when they go. Edit. I still think you were the asshole, but lying to your younger sibling is also not cool.
I'm so jaded, I don't believe any of these are real anymore, lol.
Good for you, kiddo. You took a negative experience and turned it into a humbling learning opportunity. You did better than most adults would. Everyone is an asshole sometimes, but it doesn't have to define us. Now you and your brother are closer than you were before as a result of your humility and willingness to apologize. It sounds like your family may not be as open about his sexuality. For him it must be so hard to keep that a secret. Your acceptance means the world to him and will give him strength as he navigates coming out. I wish you both the best. You're a good brother, Op.
Lol, I sound like the older brother and my brother sounds like you. He already knows my sexuality, but he feels down when I'm out of the house or I'm too busy for him. Seeing how you feel, I should probably start spending more time with my brother. And yes, I'm glad you've started taking responsibility for your actions.
I love it when people are mature enough to learn from their mistakes and truly apologize for them. You're doing better than a lot of people 3 times your age. You and your brother both seem pretty great.
Best U-turn this year. Nice, Op.
Thank you for listening. I wish you and your brother the best going forward.
It's great to hear children growing out of the bigotry they are raised around, realizing they could have made things worse and learned even more. Your update gave me some hope for the younger generations. Thank you. I wish you success in it growing, not just in you but how you spread it.
This is wonderful. Glad you have each other.
Hands clapping, hands clapping, hands clapping. Well done, mate. Hands clapping, hands clapping, hands clapping.
I'm 14 and I have a sister who's about the same age as your brother. Things will change and you might not be able to spend as much time together, but that doesn't mean he loves you less or just doesn't care. In my case, I'm the gay one in my sibling dynamic and I can tell you that I'm sure he appreciates you trying to educate yourself. It's great to see that you've grown less than 3.
I'm 14 too. I live in India, so they don't even speak of the LGBTQ+ community. But luckily I have the internet and am, at least I think, a little bit educated on this subject. So I know where you're coming from. And good job on growing and maturing.
That's some solid personal growth there, my dude. Well done.
Realizing your mistake and learning from it is very mature. So proud. Take this lesson with you through life. It will serve you well.
Good job, Op. This is awesome.
I've only known about this story for 2 minutes, but this update made me tear up a little bit. Lol. I'm proud of you for owning up to and learning from your mistakes. Well done, man. I wish you and your brother the best. Proud of you for learning from your mistakes.
Good job, man. You have realized things most of people are not mature enough to. Your bro seems a really awesome man.
This is super wholesome. You sound like a really good brother, and I'm glad you guys have reconciled and moved forward. It takes a lot of maturity to own up to a mistake and learn from it, and it sounds like you went out of your way to educate yourself on your mistake. You put in work to be better, and that's awesome. Have fun in Italy with your bro. You have such an amazing brother. Proud of you for reflecting on yourself, taking it seriously, and coming out the other side better for it. It sounds like you have an awesome brother who really wants to make things work, and I think you'll be even closer from now on as you learn to compromise and work with each other while growing and changing. This is such a sweet outcome and I'm really happy to see how well things turned out.
Op, you're awesome.
Hang on to your humility, kid. It's a gift. One, it sounds your brother is honored to help you refine.